Welcome, everyone. You're with us again. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles, and this time around, we are discussing our favorite live albums of all time. I wonder where we got that idea from. Actually, I made a video a long time ago about double live albums.
Yeah,
but,
I've done live album videos on my
yeah.
channel.
So we're here to present these to you. Of course, I mean, if we did all the great live albums of all time, this would be a 7-hour video. So obviously we're not going to be able to touch on all of them. So we certainly don't need comments like, how can you forget this one? Your credibility is lost. That's ridiculous. We're just mentioning a few each. Everybody needs to calm down. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles. Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora, Richard from Calvin Wazoo, Mike from Hubtunes, and I am the guy who knows that Anita Dorian does the high voice in The Lion Sleeps Tonight, not one of the members of the Tokens. She is a soprano opera singer.
You didn't know it at the time, though.
I know it now.
Yes, and we all know
it wasn't one of
now.
them, and I was told by two of the people on this panel, oh, yes, it's one of the Tokens. Of course it is. It's one of the guys.
Sure it was.
Well,
I
now
was
we
not one of
know
those.
now.
Well, I will admit I am one of those. I thought it was one of the guys, so whatever.
Well, I thought CeeLo Green came out with his song before Lily Allen.
Lily Allen. Yeah. So
All
there
right,
we go. We're all wrong in our own special ways.
Yes, Anita Dorian. Like I need a hole in the head. Craig is first.
Like I need a cocktail. Okay. Well, I have an honorable mention in the top 15 of my favorite live albums. I'll try to make it as quick as possible. So this isn't an 18-hour long video.
Garth Brooks, double live.
Yeah, Garth. I have like the whole platinum collection. No, Garth Brooks is not on this list. So this is my honorable mention, and it's very silly, but it makes me think of my mother, the artist, and then there's just other reasons. But I wanted to mention Roger Whittaker, live in Canada, because this story.
I have an honorable mention that's the same kind of thing. It's not quite that horrible, but
I mean, it's a whole chapter of life in each side, and it's so great. It's introducing 10 new songs. This was from 1975, and his whistling and stuff. My mom, we had 8 tracks of Roger growing up. I didn't hear the live album until recently, last couple years, but it's just, it's just a special, just very special. So at number 15, this was actually, they bragged about it being the price of a single, and it's a whole album. Gene Loves Jezebel with their 1986 Glad to Be Alive. I'm a big Gene Loves Jezebel fan. And of course, this is a live version of Cow. And if Cow's on it, I love it. Weep for Her. Have you seen the Cow? Yeah.
Cow as in moo?
Yeah. You've never heard the song The Cow?
Never heard.
Weep for Her. Have you seen the Cow? I know I've mentioned that song before, but number 14. She actually has 3 live albums. This one covers more of her career from 2018. This is live at Albert Hall, and that would be Beth Hart. Beth Hart is very incredibly special to me. She sings my soul. And what I love about her is that, she's a classically trained pianist. She plays the guitar. She plays multiple instruments. The songs that she writes, they're just deep, and takes her tragedies and makes them into this beautiful poetry. And but she can also rock like a motherfucker. Yeah. She can just shred on a guitar. She can boogie woogie piano. I mean, she's an incredible musician, and I feel very underrated, and not enough people know about her. And I feel like they should. She's very big in the Netherlands. And in Germany, they love her there. She did not tour the US for like 20 years because I was having just like heart failure, because it's like, why can't I see her? And finally, I think in 2015, she went to Seattle. I was in the front row. I cried the entire show. So a lot of the songs from that show are on this set. But she's done stuff with Joe Bonamassa or Massa or however the hell he is. She's done 3 cover albums with him. And this is just a really good breakdown of like her collection or her catalog, and just absolutely fantastic. So I don't want to hear it, but I really do love this. And from 1999, Alanis Morissette with her Unplugged set. I love the acoustic arrangements of her songs. I love her cover of The Police's King of Pain. It's got some of her B-sides on here and ends with a beautiful version of Uninvited.
I agree. I don't want to hear it either. You said you didn't want to hear it.
I know. I said I don't want to hear it from you.
Oh, I thought you meant you didn't want to hear that album. As I was going to say, I'm right there with you.
Well, if I don't want to hear it, then why am I showing it? It's wonderful, and I love her, and I don't care, and it's on really pretty vinyl too. Okay, so this was just reissued last year for the original release in 1993 on vinyl. The cover was changed, and so this is Morrissey with Beethoven Was Deaf. So like I said, 1983, the cover was completely different. I don't know why they took an image from him from like the 2000s to put on a concert album from 1993. So I kind of wish they would have just stuck with the original cover, which wasn't a picture of him. But I think this is about the time Your Arsenal was out.
Probably.
So it's got You're the One, huh?
I said, yeah, probably.
Yeah. So it's got You're the One, Fatty, You're the One for Me, Fatty, November Sponded Monster. I mean, it's got up until that point, good retrospect. Never got to see him live, so that's a nice treat for me. In my opinion, probably the greatest Unplugged album ever, and that would be also from 1993, The 10,000 Maniacs. This also was just released on vinyl for the first time last year, and it does have the extra tracks because David Byrne joined them on the stage at the end of the show, and that was not on the original CD, and so it does have those 2 tracks, Let the Mystery Be and Dallas, and a cover of Jolene is what it closes with. And I love the arrangements that they do with the songs and think it's mighty fine. And I adore Natalie Merchant.
They're listening.
I think, yeah, they're totally listening.
I have a.
I'm sorry, there was the record that I forgot to pull and I was looking for it.
Oh,
A weird like promo CD of that.
that's a CD?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So it's like this parchment type paper inside of a sealed like envelope, and
Oh, that's cool.
you open it up and it's got in this blue thing. I couldn't find it the last time we talked about it, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Anyway.
Where are we at? We are at number 10. So from 1988, Tina Turner live in Europe.
Oh, wow.
This is so great. I just recently got this. I had the double CD. I think it was a double CD way back when. But I mean, again, kind of just oh, look, you have it right there as well.
With the booklet.
Do I have the booklet in mine? Let's find out. Yeah.
Yay. She sings Addicted to Love.
Yes, it's so good. And you know, it's got Tonight with David Bowie on it. So, and we know how I love that song.
Oh.
And that album. We've discussed that before. So yes, my Tina live in Europe, 1988. Number 9 is a tie, same artist though, because I couldn't decide which one I loved more. There's different reasons for both of them. So Dolly live in Glastonbury. This is from 2014. She actually covers Alicia Keys on this with This Girl Is on Fire. But it's got the old songs, the new songs. I don't remember what album was out during that time, but yeah, and it's on clear vinyl. But it's got "Why Do You Come Here Looking Like That" and "Banks of Ohio," "Here You Come Again," all the good stuff. But the one that I really wanted to talk about, which I think was her first live album from 1970, is "A Real Live Dolly," and with special guest Porter Wagner. But she did this for her high school, I believe, for donation to make money for her school.
Yes.
And I just thought that was pretty awesome. And it's got fun little radio ads on it and comedy sketches by somebody named Spec Rhodes. And
Yeah, he's a real funny
yeah,
guy.
it's so good. But really, like, I love the part that she does with Porter Wagner. So it's a flashback into time and just really what she did it for. It was so great.
It's 1970, isn't it?
1970, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was before she left the Porter Wagner show.
Right.
Number 8. I love her. I love this. It's filthy. It's so great. From 1979, Millie Jackson with Live and Uncensored.
I've had the last four that you've shown.
Wow. This is so what I love about Millie Jackson, and here obviously I would have never had a chance to get to see her. I was like 6 when this album came out. So just I love her filthiness. Her voice, and to hear her live, everything is on point. The band is on point. The backup singer is on point. The Pointer Sisters are either backup singers or in the audience, because she makes a comment to the Pointer Sisters.
I think they're in the audience.
I think they're in the audience. I think but everything to me is just on point. She does "Do You Think I'm Sexy?" Sweet Music Man, which is a song that Kenny Rogers did. Dolly also did a version of it. Dolly's was always my favorite until I heard Millie sing it. And I'm not saying that it is better, because they're different, but just hearing the way she does that song. And then of course it has "Fuck You Symphony" on it. So I love Millie Jackson. And this was actually the first thing I ever heard of hers before I heard any of her studio albums or anything. Live and Uncensored was the first thing that I heard of Millie Jackson. I can't go on enough about how much I love that recording. So number 7, he also has a lot of live albums, but this is my favorite. And probably because half of it's with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra, and that would be Elton John live in Australia. Probably one of the best versions of "Candle in the Wind" is right here.
It's the hit version that became a hit in the 80s. They got played.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Before. Yeah, in Sorry, the version of "Sorry" seems to be the hardest word is on here. It opens up with 60 years on. This is a fantastic, just another one I just can't.
There was a Showtime special.
Yeah.
Was it?
Showtime, and that was huge. It was always on.
Always on.
Okay, I didn't have Showtime back then, so I actually I've seen the "Candles in the Wind." I've seen certain clips. I've actually never seen the whole show. I've only heard it.
Right.
It was right before he had throat surgery, and he has this kind of raspy voice that you don't really hear on a lot of other albums. That's like a kind of a different sounding concert, because he sounds hoarse basically,
right.
But it kind of works because it's like a raspy soul kind of bluesy voice.
Yeah, it's so good. So we're getting down here. Okay, number 6. So this was just recently reissued again, last year or the year before. But what the original release they took certain performances from certain concert from this tour, and then it had a new studio track on it. I didn't realize that the reissue, they took just one live show at Wembley. So I really, really like this, but I'm in desire to get an original pressing so I can have those original, like the concept of it. It was only one album. This is a 3-record set, but it is nice to have the whole show. But that is In Excess with Live Baby Live. This has like everything up until X, I believe, on it. So and it's a really nice pressing, really nice sounding. Like I said, I just want that because I had that. I had the cassette, and so I kind of want to go back. That's what I thought I was getting, but this is still really cool. So from 1991.
And the debate, of course, is it Live Baby Live or Live Baby Live?
Yeah, I know. That was I would go back and forth. I would call it Live Baby Live or Live Baby. I mean, what is it? That
I don't know.
Say Live Baby Live because it's a live album, but I could be wrong.
But
I could be
then
right.
Live Baby Live is the first words in the New Sensation
Yes,
song.
in New Sensation, Live Baby Live. Yeah. But are they making a play on that? Because
I think they're making a play on it. They're meant for it to be argued and discussed for decades, as it has been.
As it has been. But yeah, really, really great. And it just kind of listening to it again. Granted, I saw them in 94, I think it was, but it just kind of brought me back, into because they were so huge, especially Michael Hutchence was just so huge for me in high school. And I think one of my, other than George Michael, like my first like really big crush. And
oh yeah,
he's just fantastic. At number 5, their final release, it's from their 1986 tour, but this concert album came out in 1988, and of course that is the Smiths with Rank. This also has, what is the one that, like, the Dre's Train? I think that's the only place you can get it. But yeah, I mean, it's got everything. Boy, Thorn His Side, Cemetery Gates, London, I Know It's Over, Big Mouth Strike Again. I mean, it's really good. And it's another one I obviously was never going to get to see them. So kind of takes me back. Now I can go on YouTube and watch their concert videos. But when this came out in 1988, I couldn't do that. So oh, I love this. Corny. Okay. It is so good, though. From 1972. You knew Neil Diamond's Hot August Night was going to be. You knew it was going to be.
Cover art. Wow.
The cover is terrible. It is terrible. It is terrible. And it's also, my Millie Jackson is this way, too. But remember with the flip, those record players that you could
it's called auto coupling.
Yeah, so side 1 is on record 1, side 2 is on record 2, and then so it's like you have to if you want to listen to it in order. The Millie Jackson's exactly the same way, but this has some of the best versions of his. I mean, opening up with Crunchy Granola Sweet. What are we closing with? Suleiman and Brother Love's Traveling Salvation Show. I mean, Play Me, holy, holly, ah. I mean, this is a terrible cover, though. I guess what is he doing?
And the second one's not very good.
No. There's actually
he's using both hands.
I know, and he's also thinking, maybe he's playing an invisible saxophone.
Yeah, like air sax.
Yeah, air sax. That's what's going on here. And that jacket is divine. I need to have a replica of that. Look at
But aside from the jerking off thing, his face is not, I mean...
Yeah, it doesn't even actually look like him because of the face he's making. Yeah, I don't know why you do that. And then, there are 3. There's the Hot August Nights 2. I had 2 as well, but I got rid of it because it's not as good. And I've never heard 3. But yeah, there's
was, yeah.
3 Hot August nights, but this is
I saw him live in
The
the
one.
90s. I saw him live in like 98.
I never got to
7?
see Neil.
Horrible.
They really?
All he did, it was spoken word. He didn't even sing the songs.
Oh, that's
Really
that's
sad.
disappointing.
I like Neil Diamond's early stuff. His first album is great. That debut is really good.
So number 3, I have a single from the live album. I had the live album, but there's a long story behind it, but whatever. It is one of my favorite live recordings. Obviously, it's number 3. But Depeche Mode with 101. This is the Everything Counts single, which is from that concert, but and it also has Nothing, and such a great live album. They did the film for it, and I actually went and saw this in the theater with some friends. I went to the Phoenix area and met up with some of my friends and actually got to see this, and it was like the first before I had ever even gone to a concert or anything like that, so it was a big deal for me. So that might be also why it's just so special, but it is a really good live album.
Great.
And then we have a tie again for number 2 because I couldn't. There again, different reasons. This is their first live album from 1984, and that would be the Cure live concert. This is a classic Cure. This is I think Andy was the drummer at this time, which he also was only on one album, The Top. And yeah, it's up until The Top. So you've got The Walk, 100 Years. The version of Forest on here is killer. The 10:15 on a Saturday night. Just, yeah. First live thing I ever heard of them. Or did I see Orange before I had that first. And then kind of maybe a different choice, but I like the set list. I like that it's not all their singles and it's a lot of the, kind of album tracks and stuff. So from 1993, this was the companion with the show, which that was the tour that I saw. So Paris. And this has got Dressing Up and what else is on here? Now, with the reissue, they added songs that weren't on the, like Hot, Hot, Hot wasn't on the original release. They also reordered the track listing. So I kind of maybe one day will own an original pressing to have it in that original format that I had on CD way back when. But those are like $500. So, but yeah, Close to Me, Charlotte Sometimes, Catch, Letter to Elise, In Your House. Like, it's got tracks that weren't common for them to do live at that time. And this is my favorite lineup of The Cure. This was when Boris was on drums, and it had everybody I loved at that time. And my favorite live recording, and I guess maybe this is just in my collection or whatever, surprise to no one, it's beautiful, the arrangements that are done. His voice is in top form. This is the last release that was done before his death, but yeah, number 1 is George Michael's Symphonica, and this is with the London Symphony, or it's with some symphony, but this really goes over his entire catalog. It's got stuff up till his final album, with covers, First Time I Ever Saw Your Face. He also does a cover of Terrence Trent D'Arby's Let Her Down Easy. So yeah, and it's just such a beautiful recording, and another one that brings me back to when I saw him live. Granted, I didn't see him with the symphony, but yeah, that's number 1 for me. So there is my long-winded favorite live albums there for y'all.
Wow. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
I didn't pull albums like, I could have done, the Allman Brothers live, at the Fillmore. I could have done Little Feat. Those are some of my favorite live albums. I kind of just pulled their favorite live albums of mine, but they're not like the typical ones that you would think I would show. So, and some of them aren't, well, you'll see. And a lot of these are my go-to. A couple of them are my go-to records for that band over studio stuff. So, if I'm going to listen to Bob Dylan live, it's Hard Rain. I love this. It's edgier. It's harder rocking. You got Mick Ron's. What?
I always just thought Budokan, live at Budokan. I love it.
I'm taking this. It's much edgier. It's
That's
definitely a
from my
rocking
list.
album.
Yeah, the Maggie's Farm on there is incredible.
That's
what a way to open a live
album.
album.
heard
Mick
that
Ronson
one,
from David Bowie's band on here. Fucking incredible. T-Bone Burnett is in the band. This is an album that, I mean, these later Byrds albums, a lot of people poo-poo them because, you know, Crosby's gone. A lot of the members are gone. But Clarence White is still in the band. This is called Untitled. The second disc is studio. The first disc is only live. And there is an 18-minute 8 Miles High that is freaking stunning. It's absolutely incredible. Just the Byrds in this period were such a great jammy bluesy rock band. They were not the country folk band that, you know, they were early. This 8 Miles High on here is incredible, absolutely incredible. This is probably this is kind of a go-to for this artist. I just love this recording, and it's Aretha Franklin live at the Fillmore, one of the great live records of all time. Just absolutely incredible. I mean, she does everything on here. You got Ray Charles sitting in with her. King Curtis is with her. The track list, it's a lot of covers. You know, I mean, she does Respect. Love the One You're With. Bridge Over Troubled Water. Eleanor Rigby. Make It With You. Dr. Feelgood. The second side, it was Spirit in the Dark and Dr. Feelgood. Just an incredible live album. One of my favorites, and kind of my go-to for Aretha records. This is my go-to Fleetwood Mac record. And if you ever see that, you can get this cheap too. This is a box set.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, I think it's a 3-record set. You can get this for like $40. I've had this a couple of years. I don't think I paid more than $50 for this 3-record set. It's all the early
take that off my list now because you showed it. I have all 3 of them.
Woman, Rattlesnake Shake, the Green Manalishi. I mean, just some great songs. My favorite Fleetwood Mac record. Oh, there you go. Is that? Oh, very cool. Nice. Yeah, I love it. And I'm telling you, I don't think I paid more than $50. Although I did talk about this earlier, I did pull it. Allman Brothers live at the Fillmore East, one of the greatest live albums ever recorded. My go-to. If I'm going to listen to the Allman Brothers, this is what I'm putting on. I mean, I like Eat a Peach and, you know, Brothers and Sisters, but this is where it's at, man. They were absolutely incredible. I always show this. I usually say this is my favorite live album of all time, and mostly because I say that is because this is all you need by this band. You don't need all their other records. I mean, their other records are okay, but if you have this is all you need, and that's Deep Purple, Made in Japan. It's double record. It's got like 5, 6 songs on it. I think there's 2 songs each side. Just a great jam. And I mean, this is what Deep Purple was all about. It is a live, powerful band. You don't need their studio records. Just get this. It's got all their hits on it. Absolutely incredible. This is, man, I love this set. And it was out, I had it on CD for years. And then finally, probably about 10 years ago, they put it out on vinyl. And I couldn't wait to get it. And it's kind of a collection. It's not one show. But it's David Bowie at the Beeb. And unbelievable. 4-record set. All his appearances at the Beeb. Just spectacular. A lot of acoustic stuff, a lot of him and just Mick Ronson. Really, really good. There's just great covers, you know, Velvet Underground covers, all kinds of shit on here. That covers, you know, I'm Waiting for the Man, 5 years. It's on here. White Light, White Heat. Just a really good collection of live Bowie in this at the Beeb. And then this is all. I'm just going to show these, and then I'm done. They have been this, and this is when it comes to this band, I like their studio records, but they're a completely different band live. And they're doing an incredible job of putting out live music from this band, and that is Can. These live albums are stunning, and they started about 5 years ago. This is from '73, Paris.
That's a good
First
year.
single record. This one has vocals. A lot of them don't have vocals. This is when Damo Suzuki was in the band. I have this one too. I love the artwork. I love the cover artwork. Here's one from '77. And these are my two favorites. These were the first two put out. This is my favorite one. This is live in Stuttgart, 1975. It's a triple record set. I mean, just beautiful photos, great sounding records. I love
Are they the Going to the Mountain people?
No,
Oh,
that's
and
Jane's
the last one
Addiction.
is another
no.
great one. Absolutely great one.
That's Jane's Addiction.
No, not Jane's Addiction. That's the mountain song. But and he sings in that high pitch, and he's going in the mountain. And
Oh, Canned Heat. You think
Canned Heat.
Oh,
Okay,
No,
it has.
this is the
Oh,
German
going to the
rock
country.
band.
Okay, whatever.
Going up the country. That's Blind
Yeah,
Al Wilson.
Okay, well,
Yeah, it's a cover. Yeah.
well, it has can in it, canned
Yeah.
heat. So, you
And
know.
this is my last one. 3 record set, absolutely incredible. Just psychedelic krautrock, jammy, just crazy stuff. I love it. And that's all I'm going to show.
Well, I have 10 and an honorable mention, and I just grabbed 10 that I really like. They're not necessarily the best 10 ever. They're not my top 10 or anything like that. They're just 10 great ones. But similar to Craig, I have an honorable mention. It's not a live album that's going to blow anybody away. It's just one that was really special to me because not only was this the first live album I ever heard, it's probably the first full album I ever heard. And that was not a compilation of various artists, because my sister had this, and she didn't have a lot of rock. She had a lot of country, but she did have this Elvis Presley, Aloha from Hawaii.
Oh.
And this is not the kind of thing you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna put on and be blown away. It's 1973. He's doing a charity concert for cancer research.
Yeah.
It does have a lot of the schmaltzy Elvis in it. It has a lot of the Vegas style stuff in it.
Yeah.
And when he gets to his songs like Hound Dog and stuff, like he just rips through them like he can't wait for the song to be over. But I could name every note on. I used to listen to this over and 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 over. It's got a decent version of Suspicious Minds on it, actually. But yeah, so that's just an honorable mention because it was the first.
I think that was just reissued, wasn't it?
It's been reissued a few times. Yeah, I'm not
recently.
sure if it was just reissued, but one of the first live albums probably the second live album I ever heard, and again, one of the first live albums I ever heard because my brother had it on 8-track. But this one stands up. Still love this. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Live Bullet. I mean,
that's the better one.
Yeah. Well, I like 9 Tonight too, but the thing that sets this apart is this is actually one of those live albums that has a lot of definitive versions of his songs that get played on the radio. This is the one, if you hear Kathmandu on rock radio, it's not the version from Beautiful Loser, it's the version from this. Yeah. If you hear Beautiful Loser and Travelin' Man, it's not from the respective studio albums. They are from this. Turn the Page.
The Page,
is from this. I mean, it's that no one plays the studio versions of that. But not only does it have that on here, it's got other great songs on here as well. A nice live version of Ramblin' Gamblin' Man. It's got a Get Out of Denver live version, Let It Rock. Just a really smoking live album, and definitely stands up. And like I said, one of the first ones I ever heard. Neil Young. and Crazy Horse, Live Rust. I might have told the story on here before about how I used to work at Blockbuster Video. And before the store opened, there was a video of this, a video cassette of this released, because there was a movie of this.
Yeah, it was a movie.
I would play that over like every morning opening because I needed music. And that, the video music section was so, small, but they had this. And I would really love for that to be released on DVD or Blu-ray.
I used to rent it all the time.
Oh man, I used to play, and I would play it, and the TV monitors were up here, so I never really got a chance to see it. I do remember that during like set changes or something like that, these little things would come out that looked like the Star Wars Ewoks or whatever. And so great versions of a lot of stuff on here. I got to know the live version of a lot of these songs before I even got to know the studio versions. And on that videotape, there's songs that are not on here, but excellent versions of Powderfinger, Cortez the Killer, Cinnamon Girl on here is great. Like a Hurricane on here is incredible. After the Gold Rush, I felt like getting high, and the whole audience cheers, of course, and goes nuts. The Loner on here is great. I mean, just half of it is acoustic, and then he goes, I want to play some rock and roll, and then the other half is electric. So,
well, that's even kind of like the Bob Seger. A lot of those are the definitive versions. Like we used to hear those on the radio.
I never really heard Neil Young a lot on the radio here.
Really?
We don't. Yeah, St. Louis didn't really play him a lot. And if you're going to mention live albums, you have to mention Kiss Alive. This is the one. This is what Rock and Roll All Night usually gets played from. But
yeah,
this is the. I was a little kid. This is probably the third live album I ever heard. But I had my own of this. This was not my brothers or sisters. This was my own. Make sure that you have the booklet that comes with it, but, this is one of those dubious live albums that is really a studio concoction with drums and audience being the only two things that are from the actual concert. Everything else was re-recorded in the studio, but still they made it sound live anyway. This has got a lot of ring wear on it, but the records are in excellent condition, and the concert and album is excellent. And that is Bill Withers live at Carnegie Hall.
I should have pulled.
Oh man, him talking to the audience in between songs is great on here too. Yeah. Because some of his songs, like Grandma's Hands and whatever, are story songs anyway. And he was such a down to earth, nonchalant kind of excellent performer. He was not showy. He was not, and you just feel like he's your friend or something playing. I mean, what a great guy, great concert, great album.
The recording is incredible too.
And the recording sounds great. Awesome. Like I said, the records on there are in excellent condition. That cover has seen better days. Motorhead, the opposite of Bill Withers live is Motorhead, No Sleep Till Hammersmith. Just very raw, this is the way if you're going to do a hard rock album, this is the way it should sound. It seems to me that this is probably legitimate the way that it sounds, but who knows, maybe it's not. And then the opposite of Bill Withers and Motorhead is Willie Nelson and Family Live. Again, the definitive Whiskey River is on here. No one plays the studio version from 73. It's slow. If you've ever heard that, it's on Shotgun Willie. This is the popular version, the live version on here. It goes right into Stay a Little Longer. But yeah, I mean, good old Willie Nelson just sounding organic and sounding like, he's just having fun with his friends. There they are on stage. And, you got a lot of his great songs. This was released in 1978, pretty much at the height of, when he first broke through and became a superstar, and this has got a lot of the songs that he wrote that other people made popular, like Hello Walls. But Till I Gain Control Again. This has got a big long medley from Red-Headed Stranger on it. More songs that he wrote for other people that, the High Life and Nightlife and Crazy, the Patsy Cline song. But fantastic all the way through. It just sounds like you just want to be outdoors and, it just sounds like a good time. Rolling Stones, get your yayas out. This is definitely my favorite Rolling Stones live album. I mean, unless there's another one that's going to come along later from the same era. I have 2 copies of this. And this is probably one of the only records I have duplicate copies of, because I have one that doesn't skip. And I have my Midnight Rambler that skips, the one that I've had since I was a teenager, sitting on my bed, doing homework, listening to this for the first time, hearing Midnight Rambler and hearing do 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 do, and for 20 minutes did not realize it was skipping, doing that same guitar riff over, because it's a long song anyway. You can see that by playing the record that it's going to be a long song. And I just thought that, and I'm like, man, this is like really long. And yeah, it was skipping and I didn't even realize it. So I will never clean this. I will never fix it. I played it on my, on every turntable I've ever had, and it skips on all of them. And yeah, to have my extended Midnight Rambler will play forever until you take the stylus off of it, or until your power goes out, or whatever happens.
If you ever see the it's the anniversary deluxe set of that. If you ever see that, get it. The opening set is Ike and Tina, and it will blow your mind.
I've seen that.
It's almost as good as the Stone set. It's unreal.
I've got the Gimme Shelter DVD that Criterion put out, and there's scenes of them as bonus features. There's scenes of Ike and Turner on stage where they're doing, or she's actually doing, what's the song? It's like an Otis Redding. What's the real slow song? Try a Little Tenderness, maybe, or
maybe.
No, it's not that one. It's a different one. It's I can't think of it. And she basically just starts masturbating on stage. It's incredible. It's like, whoa. Wow. She takes it way far. Since I've been loving you, I think. Maybe
I've been loving you too long to stop.
I've been loving you too long to stop now. That's what it is. And finally, I showed all those. Those are all classics. Those have all been out since the 70s or whatever, which I'll explain more when we get to the second half of this. But this one just came out for the last Record Store Day Black Friday, and I think it sounds incredible. I'm so glad I picked this up. Big Brother and the Holding Company, featuring Janis Joplin live at I have been told is actually the Grande Ballroom in Detroit, not the Grand Ballroom, the Grande Ballroom in Detroit, Michigan, March 2nd, 1968. This sounds better than Cheap Thrills. The recording on this is stellar. This is a fantastic live album. And with Record Store Day live albums, you always have to be careful. What is this going to sound like? I've got a Doors one that I got a year ago where it sounds like Jim Morrison dropped the microphone for 2 songs. And you don't hear his vocals. You can hear like an echo of them. You got crazy stuff, like you got like basic bootlegs being pressed onto vinyl and sold. But this sounds absolutely terrific. I'm so glad I picked this up. And this would be.
I wish I had picked it up.
It's great. Oh, it's probably not. It's probably still around. But yeah, it's a complete concert. But it says right there. But it's only one record, only 8 songs. But Ball and Chain's like 7 minutes long. But yeah, excellent live album. Again, from a concert that's probably there's no video source for. So those are some of my favorite live albums. There are certainly many more. Well, did I do all the one? James Brown live at the Apollo. I forgot to pull that one.
Yeah.
That's great. There's 2 different versions of that.
Oh, really?
The one that's on a lot of the CDs removes the audience, because a lot of the audience is not really part of the concert. They put it on later. But I love that version that's on the original record, because the audience just sounds like they're going nuts. It sounds like the rowdiest audience ever on a live record. And I was really upset to find out that a lot of it's not, it's dubbed on there.
Yeah.
And on the CD I have, they take a lot of it off. That one, and B.B. King live in Cook County Jail, where they boo the sheriff at the beginning. Yeah. And it's got some great versions of songs on there. I thought that was going to be my favorite B.B. King live album ever. And then I heard Live at the Regal. Live at the Regal.
I got that one too. Yeah.
It's tops. That's the top one.
Oh, really? I don't think I have that.
So yeah, those are some of my favorite live albums.
Well, I've got a long list like Craig did, but I just removed a couple that you all have shown. So that kind of shortened things up. And I've got these, they're nothing's in any real order. I got 5 honorable mentions just because I think they're worth mentioning. And then I think I'm now down to top 16 or 15. But interesting, I don't have any live albums by female artists, which I thought was kind of weird. I've got no Janis Joplin live, no Joni Mitchell live, no Linda Ronstadt live, no Emmylou Harris live. I've got some studio albums that have maybe 1 or 2 tracks that are recorded live, like from a Nina Simone album or something like that. I do have 1 live album, but it's going to be mentioned in the second half.
Are you sure Elon Musk didn't come and take all your female live albums out or something?
You know, one of his douchebag team might have done something like that. Anyway, so for starting off with my honorable mentions, is this one here? It's only one side of this is a live album. This is The Residents, and it's the Snakey Wake. And this was a performance they did when Snakefinger died. It was a key member of the band in their early days, called Snakefinger because he had a huge long finger and he would play a slide style of guitar.
Is that rare?
Is it rare? No, I don't think so.
Oh, I've never seen it before. No, the finger.
They have so many records. But yeah, you can see with the on here, he's got a very long finger that eventually comes out between his legs.
Stabbed himself in the brain trying to pick his nose one time.
Don't make me laugh. I'll start to choke. The Solomon Burke. This is a really incredible live album, Soul Alive. And I never really even heard of Solomon Burke until I read, what's his name? Guralnick's book, Sweet Soul Music, which is a really great book about soul music and rhythm and blues. And it's about the Stax Record Studio and the Muscle Shoals Studios and all the artists that they recorded. And that's what I was reading about Solomon Burke.
Yeah.
And then I picked this record up.
Well, it's
He's really
official.
cool.
Elon Musk has not been in your record collection. You can rest assured.
This is worth an honorable mention. This is the Violent Femmes, Two Mics and the Truth. It's from 2017.
That
Picked it up
is really
when I-
rare. Like, yeah. Do you know how expensive that thing is? That's why I don't have it.
Really? Mine's
yeah.
signed. Mine's signed by all the band members because I picked it up at a show in Pittsburgh. There's my ticket. Yeah, it's a pretty decent live recording. This one goes back to 1974. I still love this album. It's Loggins and Messina on stage. I just really, I don't have any other Loggins and Messina. Never really cared for their studio albums, but I really like this live recording. So yeah, to me, this is one of those live records that you don't need anything else from their catalog.
One of the most identifiable spines
Yeah,
on a record.
right. Because you can't see
Oh,
it.
yeah.
But anyway, then Blue Oyster Cult, On Your Feet or On Your Knees. Bought this because I saw the show in 1975. Now, they had another live album come out a couple years later, which I understand is better than this one. But to me, this is when I play this record, I'm back at that show.
That's the one I had when I was a kid.
Yeah, they had some Enchanted Evening later, but that's not a double. That's just a single album.
Yeah, it's a
But I
And then after
understand
that-
there's a lot of people who say that one's better. I don't know.
After that, in '82, I think they had Extraterrestrial Live.
Yeah, that came out.
I don't think that
Blue
was.
Oyster Cult is one of the few bands that I've seen up to 3 or maybe 4 times.
Wow.
And was just totally into them for so long. But I never bought any of their studio albums. I've been perfectly happy with that live album.
There's a documentary coming out in a few weeks about them. I think it's on HBO. It's on HBO or Netflix, and they're involved in it, like all the members.
Oh, nice. I hope it's on Netflix because I don't have HBO. Now getting into my tops. This is Keith Jarrett in the Cologne concert. This is a really, it's not only an amazing recording, but the story behind it is really amazing. I did a video about this. It was a concert that almost didn't happen because he made a special request for a special piano and they couldn't deliver. What they found was a piano backstage that was used for rehearsals that was like out of tune, and so they had to quickly try and fix it, and then he almost decided not to do the show when he saw the piano. But it's just an incredible concert. It's one of those live recordings that is talked about by a lot of people. It's
probably his most famous album.
Yeah, it is. It is really, really an amazing recording. And a lot of it is basically improvised by him on the spot. My favorite Grateful Dead album is just Grateful Dead, the eponymously titled live release from 1971. This is a MoFi issue of it. I have an original also, but this is my favorite live recording. I mean, it's not. I have a favorite studio recording, but this is one that I listen to far more than any of the other live recordings. And then in the same vein is this one, "Old and in the Way." This famous bluegrass recording. And you've got Jerry Garcia, Vassar Clements, Peter Rowan, Jim Grissom, and
David Grissom. Yeah.
David Grisman, right? And then who's the other person? I keep forgetting. I can't remember, and I can't read this text. Peter Rowan. Oh, John Kahn.
Oh, John Kahn. He was in the Jerry Garcia band.
Yeah.
He's the bassist.
Recorded by Owsley Stanley. It's an amazing recording. Crystal clear recording.
Great really good bluegrass.
It is. It's just amazing. Now, someone who has a lot of great live albums, some of them, though, are problematic in one respect or another, and that's Frank Zappa with his recordings. But two of his that I think are just absolutely brilliant. This one here is the "You Can't Do That on Stage Anymore" Volume 2, the Helsinki concert. The band does their version of, this is when somebody in the crowd yells out to play Whippin' Post. And they don't, but they play the song Montana and change the words so that they say Whippin' Floss. But then a couple years later, they go back to Helsinki and then they play Whipping Post. But yeah, just a really, really good recording. The other one is on CD only, and that is Imaginary Diseases, which is the Petit Wazoo band. So this was his like jazz fusion era.
Yeah.
And this is when Jim Gordon was playing drums. Oh, the drumming is just absolutely fantastic on this recording. Just amazing.
So it's before Jim Gordon killed his mother.
Yes.
He stopped drumming after that.
He really
Well,
did.
actually, he
stopped showing
continued
up.
to drum
Frank
while
was
he's
pissed.
been in prison. This is, to me, an epitome of live albums.
Yeah.
Rockin' the Fillmore. It's just one of my favorites. Again, I don't have anything else by Humble Pie.
You don't
This
need
is all I want. Had a couple albums from one of my favorite jazz pianists, and that's Oscar Peterson. This is the Oscar Peterson Trio. He had a series of records. This one is Something Warm from 1967. This one is Live from Chicago from 1961. And there were a few others because they used to play at the London House, which is still a hotel on Wacker by the river. But the London House club where they played is no longer there. But it was a great jazz club for many, many years in Chicago. A lot of great people went through there. And Oscar Peterson made some classic live recordings there. Another great to me.
Yeah. I love it.
Jig Isles, live Full House from 1972. Great record. The only other Jig Isles band record I have is Bloodshot. After that, I kind of thought he went a little too, I don't know, a little too commercial. But I mean, they're okay. I don't hate the songs. It's just don't want to run out and buy them.
That's a great live album. That's a party record.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. And what year was that? That was 1972. So
Probably.
shortly after that, I saw the band live, and that was such a great show.
I saw him early on too. One of the best ones I ever saw.
Classic, The Who, live at Leeds. It's one of those albums that, I don't know, it's like a kind of a compressed recording, but it just kind of works for what they're doing with
I have
it.
the CD that has a fuller version of the concert. I like that a lot more.
Yeah.
I have that
That's
CD as well, right?
It's got all the Tommy stuff on it. It's
They play almost the entire Tommy on that CD version.
Yeah.
Then a couple more here. We've got, Neil Young had a lot of really great live recordings, but this one here is this box set that came out a couple years ago, Way Down in the Rust Bucket. This is just him and Crazy Horse just fucking jamming. I mean, when I first got this.
What year is that?
This was released in 2021. And there's 4 records. And when I first got it, when it came in the mail, I thought, okay, I'll listen to like one side, and then maybe tomorrow I'll listen to album number 2. But I sat there and I listened to all 4 albums all the way through. It was just amazing. Just amazing. This is a band that they have a shitload of records. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And this box set is of their show in Chicago in 2023 at the Salt Shed. It was released in 2024. You don't need, there's no need to try and collect all the records. No. You get this box set, although it's a limited box set, so it's probably not available anymore. Limited to 1,000. Mine's 580. But oh God, it's got everything that you would ever need by them. And then 2 more I want to mention. I didn't think of them in time. I did want to mention the King Crimson. This one here. This is live in Chicago from June 28th, 2017.
Oh wow.
This was so cool because I went to this concert, and then like a couple months later, I saw that this was available, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
I've never seen that.
And it's a really, really cool little CD set of the entire show. So that was really quite cool to be able to get that. But the two that I kind of wish I would have pulled, the two live albums by Lou Reed, Rock and Roll Animal and Lou Reed Live. I mean, those are
Yeah.
amazing. They're from the same show, but I think it was Robert was mentioning the reason it got released in two different records is because some of the songs were Velvet Underground songs, and then the other ones on the other album were all Lou Reed songs, and so it was like RCA wanted to get some action off of Velvet Underground or something like that, and because I always thought, well, why didn't they just release the whole show, together? Because
double album, yeah.
It would have been a great double album.
Oh yeah, but there's obviously some kind of issues going on between, because clearly Rock and Roll Animal is, I think that's the one that's all Velvet Underground, and then Lou Reed Live is all Lou Reed.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, those are my some of my favorites. There are many, like y'all been saying, there are many other records that
more.
We'd be here all night.
Do we have our least favorites?
I have some dishonorable mentions, yes.
I don't really.
I have one.
I really don't. I mean, when I think of bad concert albums, they're not really, because they're mostly like bootlegs and stuff. So I have some that would be like disappointing because sound quality, all of that. But I can't think of like anything that I just think is terrible. So I guess if it's a live album that it's probably somebody I don't like. So why am I going to listen to it? So I don't really have anything bad to say about, although I'm sure there's some terrible ones.
Yeah, I mean, I have one that's a disappointment, and I have one that is a bad live album. This is a bad live album. And this is actually the first concert I ever went to was the Rolling Stones, 1981. Still Life. This is a bad live album by the Rolling Stones. They don't have a lot. I mean, Get Your Eyes Out is one of the greatest of all time, but this thing is, I mean, they're sloppy. They're not playing. It's not a good time for the Stones either.
Yeah.
They're sloppy. They're playing stadiums that are freaking huge. They're just all over the place. They're not really playing tight. This is a bad live album. Someone's gonna roast me for that because every time I show this and I say this is a bad live album, someone's always like, "This is a great one."
I thought that was universally disliked, though.
I thought so too, but I've had people, and also the artwork, terrible. The inner, terrible.
It's lovely.
Early '80s Stones, really bad. This one is just disappointing because if it was a double album, it would be great because it's a great live single album. I actually probably should have shown it, but this is Jay Giles' band live, Full House. This is a kick-ass live album, man.
Well, I showed that as one of my favorites.
Yeah, this is great. But if this was a double album, I mean, if it was the whole show, this thing would be kick-ass, man.
I feel the same way. I think I even said that. I feel the same way about the Who Live at Leeds, where it's like, why would you make that a single album like that?
Yeah, I mean, the Who Live at Leeds, find the double. There is a deluxe version of it. And
the CD's much better.
Yeah. So this is one just disappointing because I'd rather if it was a double album. They actually have a couple of good live albums. Their album Showtime is really good too. And that's really all I have. Yeah, I'm kind of with Craig. I mean, it's just I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really have a bunch of disappointing live albums. I just have more of an overall concept. Am I next or is Richard next?
You might as well go.
You are.
I have more of a concept of why I don't buy live albums. past like the mid 80s or so. And it's, you know, if I do get a live album, it's going to be something like the Big Brother and the Holding Company record store day one I got, which is terrific. I absolutely love that live album. I'm so glad that that was released. I wish they would release more stuff like that. And it's because there's most likely no visual element to it. And that's the problem I have with live albums from the 90s and 2000s. I just want the Blu-ray then, or the DVD, or something like, you know, or have it on a MP4 or something where I can see it. I'm not a big fan of live albums where there's an obvious visual component to it, like Tina Turner live in Europe. Maybe it wasn't live in Europe, but around the same time, they had Tina Turner live in Rio, which is, I mean, you just sit back, you're just blown away by her energy and the size of that crowd and the way she just has that entire huge, I mean, a mega crowd in her hand. And, you know, you don't, I mean, and then the Blu-rays especially, I mean, they'll sound better than a vinyl record. I mean, Blu-ray audio, I mean, that's, you know, and you can have different audio channels where you can have it to where, you know, it sounds more like a audio recording where it's mixed that way, or it can be mixed more like a visual live thing with, you know, the microphone's a little more pushed up and whatever. The big thing that really illustrates this for me is this: Jefferson Airplane, their entire Woodstock show. I got this because this was another record store day, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was a re-release of a record store day thing. And the record store day one sold out pretty quickly. And then they re-released it sometime last year. And I got this as soon as they re-released it. Really nice, you know, packaging on this. It's a 3-record set. So it opens, you know, like that. And, you know, that's nice. Really nice and all that. But I'm playing this, and I've only played it once. I'm playing this, and all I can think of is, I just want to see this, you know? I know what Woodstock looks like. I've seen the Woodstock, you know, the original movie when it was on the double VHS. Yeah. I've got the DVD where they have added more footage to it. I've got Woodstock Diary, I think it's called, where it's a supplement to it with even more footage. So I know everybody knows what Woodstock looks like. And listening to that, it's like something major is missing, and the whole visual of that is missing. And I just really don't have an interest in live albums unless they are classic live albums released in the 70s, you know, or something like Big Brother and the Holding Company that was sort of unearthed and sounds incredible, but probably doesn't have any visual element to it. And speaking of Woodstock, one thing I've always wished would happen would be to get that footage out of the vaults. You know, they have it. They have the film. It's not synced up to the audio. Get musicians together like they did with the Woodstock Diary or whatever that was called, and the bonus features on the Woodstock, the later DVD. Get the musicians that can look at fingering on guitars and whatever and tell where it goes, and lip readers and whatever they need. Sync that shit back up and stream it. Have an all weekend Woodstock thing on Netflix or something like that. You tell me people wouldn't be interested in that? People who maybe don't have Netflix wouldn't sign up for Netflix to see like Woodstock in real time. And if they are missing visual parts, just put up photos and stuff.
Get Peter Jackson to do it like he did.
Right. Absolutely. And then people also have their home movie footage that I've seen on YouTube. Incorporate all that in there and just make a big, long Woodstock weekend stream. And, you know, then you can stream it whenever you want or whatever. You tell me people wouldn't be interested in that. It's just sitting in vaults, collecting dust and deteriorating. Yeah. Put it together, make it happen. But there's a record store day release, too, that really illustrates this as well, from the Thompson twins. What they've basically done, the record store day live thing, was a VHS live thing that came out in the 80s. They just put it on a record. Oh,
is that what it is?
Yeah. Just release the DVD, release it on DVD or put it on streaming so you have the visual. It's already edited and produced and everything. Just put it out. Why are you putting this on a record?
Yeah.
It's like the Thompson twins aren't, you know, probably the most exciting band to see live. But if you have the visual component, you know, why are we putting this on a record? It just, I don't know. Stuff like that just, I mean, it makes sense because it's record store day, but in an artistic way, right? Exactly. In an artistic way, it doesn't make any sense. So that's my rant.
It'll sell
That's
out.
why I really only chose the classic stuff when I was talking about my favorite.
Well, I've got both the Woodstock, the original Woodstock, and then the second Woodstock one, so I've got those, and I probably haven't listened to them in like years because, every once in a while, the Woodstock film is on.
Yeah, if I stumble across it on TV, I'll watch it, but I never listen to the record.
Yeah.
I've had that thing since high school. I don't think
Right. Yeah. When it first came out, then yeah, I was listening to it a lot.
Well, that's all you had.
Right.
You couldn't just pull out a DVD or a video and play it. You had that was the document. You had up until probably, I would say 85 or something when the videos became, home video became popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I always enjoyed watching, who was it? Krishner's, rock concert that the Saturday nights. What was that? Don Kushner?
Yeah. Well, there was also the Midnight Special too.
The Midnight Special.
I used to watch Midnight Special.
So, the visual is, and you can even overlook the poor sound that you may be getting over your television, just because the visual is just, so exciting.
I used to hold my microphone to my cassette player up to the speaker of the TV and record Midnight Special.
Yeah.
I put it on cassette and then I just walk around wearing my headphones.
Yeah.
Thought I was cool as shit.
Yeah.
Innovative. I did that with music videos.
I did that with the Beatles' Yellow Submarine.
Yeah.
When it came on.
Well, I do have 4 albums, live albums, that are, like Craig was saying, they're disappointments for the most part. One of them, I would say, is seriously bad, and this band was known for putting out really good live recordings. And this one was not such a good one, but one of them is the more recent one, is the Faces from the Masquerade from the last Car Seat Headrest tour. The set list is great, but the engineering of the sound makes everything sound like really compressed. So there isn't a lot of dynamic range with the music. So this was a really disappointing. And I saw the show. I went to the show when they were here in Chicago, and this was recorded in Brooklyn. But that was really disappointing. The one really bad one, I would say, was, and I don't have a copy of it, I did at the time of its release, was Steal Your Face by the Grateful Dead. That was it had major sibilance issues that, especially if you were a little bit buzzed, was really annoying to have that happen. Now, I know that they did a reissue that was supposed to be re-engineered. I don't know if they got rid of the sibilance, but that was always a big disappointment for me because, again, it was a good set list.
This one?
No. Steal Your Face. Steal Your Face was released in '76. That's just called The Grateful Dead.
Yeah, they look similar. They have the white background with the.
Yeah.
It's got the skull with the lightning bolt.
Skull,
and, yeah, that one.
Kind of just a live comp. It's not like one single show, I don't think. So it is kind of.
I can't remember from the liner notes. I think it's all
over the board. Yeah.
But it was just not a good recording. This one just didn't age well for me. In fact, a lot of their records didn't age well for me, and that's Uriah Heep. I used to love this band. I loved this band. Oh man, I was in high school listening to them. I just loved Magician's Birthday and Demons and Wizards. And this, for a while was a good live recording. And now I listen to it and I go, ugh, it's like so shrill.
They have a bunch of live albums too, don't they?
I think so. This is supposed to be like a better one. Mirrors. Is Mirrors a studio or is that a live album?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I know I got that live album, and that's one of the few albums I got and then immediately got rid of.
Yeah.
Just like, no.
Yeah, it's just one of those bands at the studio. And actually, I didn't get this one until much later. But the studio albums, oh, like I said, I used to love them, and now
I loved them.
And then I bought a reissue of Magician's Birthday, and I listened to it, and it's like the Todd Rundgren. I loved Todd Rundgren's Utopia when I was in high school.
I loved Utopia when I was in high school. Now I put on a Utopia album. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's
exactly.
Really
you know who I just did that with? Huey Lewis and the News.
Oh, I never liked that. Ooh.
I used to think that was the perfect, like, rock pop album, that sports album, and I just listened to it again recently, and I'm like, yeah, you know, that 4 album is super dorky, and I thought that they went through a chase. It's like, no, this one's kind of dorky too. I mean, the Heart of Rock and Roll is super dorky, and just, I mean, Heart and Soul is like the only song on there.
Still beating.
I like, you know.
Yeah. This is going to be a controversial take, I think. And this was a record store release this year, last year. And that's the live. This is a great recording. It is a superb recording from like decades ago of an unearthed tape. And they did just a brilliant job with the mastering and engineering. It sounds incredible. It's the Sister Rosetta Tharpe. The thing is, I love Sister Rosetta Tharpe.
Yeah.
But the first side, you know, is more of a little of her rockin', you know, but the rest of it is very gospel. And I like gospel music, but I can only listen to it a little bit at a time. After a while, I just kind of go, I'm tired of this shit. I want to hear some devil music, you know. So it's not, but I don't listen to this much. And when I do listen to it, I listen to side one, the opening side. Because I mean, they're great. The recordings are great, and you know, one or two gospel songs by the Sister Rosetta Tharpe is fine with me. Okay, but I can't listen to the entire album. It's just too much.
I picked it up too. I think I've listened to it once.
Yeah,
put it on the shelf.
It's just, I don't think I've listened to it.
It's why I'm not buying live albums anymore from record stores.
Yeah. Well, this one was a great recording. So this was.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crystal clear. It's like you're there in the auditorium or club wherever she was playing, and it's just absolutely amazing sound quality. It's just the songs after a while just get real tiresome.
I get it.
Yeah.
I just thought of one. The Beatles live at the Hollywood Bowl.
I was gonna pull it out. And I figured, what's the point? It's just
screaming for a whole 2 sides, just screaming, just girls screaming.
It's just a statement in time of
a
snapshot.
But it was. I mean, you talked about what's his name, Peter Jackson, and I don't know if he did this or someone else did it, but they re-released that when they came out with that 8 Days a Week movie, and it's basically that album. But they were able to get the music out and pull that up and get rid of this. You know, the screaming is still there for historical purposes, but it's way down, so you can actually hear the Beatles now.
Yeah,
but it's the same 2 concerts, I think, with a couple of extra songs on there that they didn't use.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know they redid that.
Yeah, it's called 8 Days a Week.
Huh. Yeah, I remember when I bought that. I bought that in like junior high. I remember being so excited to pick that record up, and then I got it, and I was like, it's not great. I'd rather listen to the studio.
All right, well, that's our take on live LPs. What are your favorites or maybe least favorites? And do you still buy them, or are you like me and you just would rather see the concert and hear the music, see the concert, have the whole experience? Do you watch YouTube videos of concerts where somebody is just it? I mean, people have gotten so sophisticated. You know, phones have gotten so sophisticated, and as soon as there's a concert, everybody's got their phone out. Instead, and that's terrible to be at the concert and have somebody in front of you with their phone up. But if you're at home and you're seeing the result of it, it can be great. I've watched Elton John concert all the way through. The sound was great, and it was just on somebody's phone. They just had it up the whole time.
Yep.
So there's that.
I watch it.
But yeah, we are the Vinyl Community Guncles. I'm Robert Fitton, along with
Richard Calvin Wazoo,
Craig's Vinyl Plethora,
Mike at Hub Tunes.
Hopefully, we will talk to you again soon. Thank you so much
Mhm.
for watching.
Yes.